to another stream. And if you're watching this later, I'll be putting on YouTube and Twitch. So before we even get into anything, let's just say, please, if you enjoy, like, follow, subscribe, hit that Budo, whichever one you want to choose. Please, it'll help me out. I really want to make it. I love games, love doing everything, love making videos. It's cool. So yeah, help me out, please. Let's get straight into it, shall we? Alright. Here we go. Let's just, I guess, start the day. Let's go. Wow, we got Purdy. Yeah, Purdy. Alright, don't forget to prepare the upcoming meeting with the prosecutors. Alright. Police Academy. Janice flunked her exams and brought dishonor to the badge. Well, that's not cool. Investigation for all the detectives dead or fired. Wow, did he die? Oh no, he quit. That's right. Oh, what a prick. Oh, that's so not cool. Oh. Jack, you swore an oath to serve the city. If you can't keep your promises, we won't keep ours. Oh, damn. Jonathan Bush is today a hero, having pulled a drowning Senator Wallace Green from the river. The municipality, on the Senator's recommendations, has decided to reward his outstanding officer. The ceremony is scheduled for 27th of July, and the event will be open to the press, as well as Mr. Green's family. Okay, who wish to personally thank the police. Make sure nothing unusual happens to this officer, so he will be able to attend the ceremony and receive the medal without complications. Okay, so we got to look after Bush. Yeah, look after Bush. Okay, so I guess. One sec. Which one was he on? They need someone here. That's good. So I'm going to do this one for shift A. Okay. Paddy Wagner. Sometimes your officers will arrest only one or two criminals, but when you're taking down a whole group, it's better to bring a paddy wagon. A truly professional staff can cope without the need of a special transport, but most officers prefer a paddy wagon when the situation calls for it. Too bad the department doesn't have enough money for one. Of course they don't. That's great. That's just great, isn't it? Bloody hell. Alright, there's someone that can, pull this off. Let's do that. It's Hope White. That's attempted murder. An ice cream van struck a schoolboy. The ambulance arrived quickly, but the boy was declared dead on the scene. Damn. Well, it's not attempted then. He actually died. The nearby residents are enraged and demand justice for the driver of the van. He is currently holed up inside the ambulance while the paramedics are trying to reason with the crowd. The situation is quickly spiraling out of control. Alright. So, officer. send someone. There we go. So how's everybody doing today? Just leave a comment for me. Be good. Oh, Jack, some black gangster hit one of our shops. It's too much for us to deal with right now. Can you help? I can help. And I just want to say, I'm not racist or anything. Love black people, love white people, don't care. Race should be something in the past. I love every race.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Alright, the situation is more serious than we thought. Requesting reinforcements. Let's send Purdy and Dipper. Yup. Jack, we have something going on today at the courthouse at 18:30. So courthouse 18:30. Courthouse 18:30. Courthouse 18:30. Do you want to say more? Noise complaint at the sawmill. An elderly man called the police station reporting a terrible screams have been coming from the sawmill for over an hour. So what the hell is going on? What's a guy got to do to get a little sleep around here? You'd better go check it out. Uh-oh. What happened then? Attempted what? Wow. We just lost our first 2 officers, guys. Dead. That's very unfortunate. Mr. Boyd manage a large fleet of vehicles and want to organize a workshop for a few of my drivers. They have to learn how to behave on the road, so your patrolman will never even need to look twice at our cars. Please send 3 of your best officers. They'll ride all day with my people and explain the intricacies of traffic flow and police monitoring. I've heard about the problems in your department faces, particularly your obsolete fleet of police vehicles. So in return, we'll be happy to donate a paddy wagon, and that's cool. Damn, I wanted Whiten. How did I ever say that name? That's cool. The sawmill is surrounded by a 9-foot fence, and the gates are locked from the inside. Shouts can be heard from within. Break open the gate. A man is threatening a young boy with a circular saw. The man is screaming hysterically. Raise the gun at the man and order him to release the boy. Take aim or raise it. There we go. It's easy. Uh-oh. Can we risk it? Robbery. Damn it. An emergency call was received from an all-night drugstore and an addict is attempting to gain unlawful entry. He violently threatens a female pharmacist and demands she's open the cabinets. Okay. I'm going to send Purdy. I don't like this, but he's the only guy I got. Chief, we rode along and went all over the basics and emptied it with their empty-headed drivers. We're done for there. Meanwhile, Mr. Sand dropped off a new paddy wagon. It's a very nice piece of equipment. Too good for the idiots. We'll be packing inside. We will be packing inside. Okay. That's just annoying. Why do you go home? Damn it. That's the Sands one, I think. During sentencing, the serial killer by the name of Albert Ramez seized the gun from the hoist of the court bailiff and after shooting several witnesses, barricaded himself inside the courtroom. A young stenograph was taken hostage. Alright. Oh. Uh-oh. Birdie. Why do you do it? Not going with the courthouse. That's the Sands job. It's pretty good. Assault residential. Alright, we got our team back. Emergency medical services arrived on call for a man complaining of chest pains. While they were treating him, the man suddenly attacked one of the EMTs, shouting wildly about global pharmaceutical conspiracy. The other personnel managed to escape and called the police. Let's go. Thank you, $6,000. Ooh. Ouch. Just tell you what, I'm very glad I didn't say send Bush with those other two. Okay, so the result. The door to the apartment is locked from the inside, and unintelligible screams can be heard from within. Okay. Knock on the door. Right. The victim is bound and lying on the floor. The assailant is sitting on top of him, waving a syringe filled with an unknown substance. A bottle of bleach is on the floor nearby, so you can assume that's bleach in the syringe. That doesn't sound very nice. Sir, we're on your side. Tell us about this conspiracy. Point the gun at the man and order him to lie face down on the floor. Drop the syringe. Okay, I'm gonna play along with you. The man jumps up and grabs some papers on the table. Everything is written down here. All the evidence you'll need. They created the medicines to control our minds. Well, the Freiburg police will begin the investigation right away. Let's talk down at the station. That's funny. I'm sad we lost those two there. Makes me unhappy. Let's end the day. Each of our employees received the weekly salary. The ones that are still alive anyway. We just lost two. But if you bury the paperwork, you can put some of the money from any deceased officers' salaries. So long as they're alive and healthy on paper, City Hall will keep printing perfectly healthy paychecks. Oh, wow. Well, I'm going to declare them dead. This time. Oh great, we're going to have to deal with Mel Rogers, I think. Mr. Boyd, why did you send your office to the feminist protest? And, gotta remember, she is a feminist herself. It's my job. It was a major event the police were obligated to attend. In your opinion, did any of the participants at the protest pose an actual danger to others? It's hard to say. I don't know. How should I know? Personally, I wasn't even there. Mr. Boyd, you're married, are you not? None of your business. Don't try to bring family into this. What are your personal feelings about women? The same as men? That's an improper question. The same as men. As far as I'm concerned, they're the same as men. Some women are great and some I don't much care for. Mr. Boyd, did you give the order to suppress the protest by... Ooh. The mayor gave me a direct order in writing. I had no choice but to carry it out. Throw the mayor under the bus.
In my new role as corrupt official, I had to give up some of my favorite habits. I couldn't turn off my phone when my head ached. Couldn't sleep till noon on Saturday and let the rest of HQ take up the slack. No more days off to go fishing. But my weekly visit to the old Colony Club was more like tradition. One night a week, I absorbed cigar smoke, the vague smell of alcohol, the stench of urine, all mixed with toxic levels of old drunken belches. Same picture it was 30 years ago. Tradition's gotta be honored. And to stay faithful to the tradition, you've got to respect the standard rituals. When you're about to roll out of the club, you need to take a deep breath and count to 100. If your stomach doesn't do a backflip, you should be good to make it home. This time, I only got up to 60. I was interrupted.
Why?
That's rude.
You look even better than you do on TV.
There's nothing more impolite than approaching people in the alley at the old Colony. This is the most private place in the city. All who enter here dirty their shoes with the most elite stream of vomit in Freeburg. This asphalt has been blessed by judges, lawyers, artists, businessmen, and all our politicians. Takes a lot of balls to crash the party.
Yes.
My head was a drunken haze, but I knew who he was. A cartoon gangster suit straight out of Dick Tracy. Fancy voice, fruit cologne, sassy strut. That's how the newspapers described Vikas Varga, rising star in Freeburg's criminal underworld. He appeared out of nowhere, and with the support of the local punks, Varga broke all the old rules of organized crime. He killed those who could not be killed, traded what could not be traded, and robbed those who could not be robbed. In just a single month, this man had gathered an incredible amount of power. He's been called everything from a clown to a madman to a criminal genius, and more often than not, he's called a low-class upstart short on ideas. But if Vargas was one of the old crime bosses, he'd have been cut into pieces and fed to the river.
Yep.
Look past this guy's arrogance, and there's something about him. The city is still deciding what to do with him. Meanwhile, he's burning down the houses of old city mobsters.
Wow.
Not the best time to talk, Mr. Varga.
Well, you know my name. I'm flattered, although not very surprised, to be honest. I might be a little short on manners. Like they say in your fair city, with the right manners, you can go anywhere.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to go anywhere. want to stay right here.
Even the criminal world needs manners, Mr. Varga. And one of them is this. Don't interfere with a drunken cop who's trying to take a shit and puke at the same time.
Oh,
Wow.
you exaggerate. But is Freeburg always so gentle with its officers? You've been a bit roughed up lately.
I see you already know Freeburg quite well, Mr. Varga.
Well, I love to learn and look around. But I do know that the inhabitants of this fair city should be friends, Jack. Maybe it's true I don't have the best manners. After all, it's only polite for friends to share their phone numbers. This city of yours moves so fast. I feel like I'm hooked on amphetamines all over again. You wake up in the morning full of ideas, and by nightfall, you've all had each other killed.
Wow.
So don't wait too long to call. I don't mind if you're drunk. It's all the more fun. I'll be stoned myself, most likely. Hell, I'm a little stoned right now. It's the only way to live in this place. I like your city, Jack. I'm here to stay.
We'll see about that. Mr.
If it weren't for the
Vargas.
phone number written on my arm, I probably wouldn't have remembered the conversation in the morning.
That's true.
But there was no reason to worry. I'd be getting a reminder soon.
Alright, so an Orthodox priest bribes the mayor. That's funny.
My morning ritual was plagued by the smell of Vickers Varga's fruity cologne. It was like the sharp citrus scent was chasing me around the house, as if Vickers was right there in my living room. When I finally realized the smell was coming from a big basket of oranges, it didn't put me any more at ease. I'd opened my door to lots of threatening mail, evidence of criminal wrongdoing, even a dead ferret or two. But fruit? Never. You the fruit guy?
Excuse me?
Was it you that brought the basket of oranges?
Nah, it was here when I arrived.
Fine. So who are you?
Today, I'm your driver.
And where are we driving?
To work.
That's it?
Yeah, we have to make an important stop along the way.
Where?
The ranch.
What ranch?
Just the ranch.
Fine.
The ranch.
The morning seemed surreal, and I took in the magic. Why wreck it with meaningless chatter? As my tight-lipped chauffeur drove an hour through God knows where, I started to feel like I was in the middle of a bad dream, probably lying bloody and concussed in the alley behind the old Colony Club, my nose buried in a rotten orange peel. But
Wow.
no, this was no dream. The silence was real. The sound of the engine was real. The dust was real enough, too. And there was the ranch over the horizon. It all seemed familiar. The Sand family's overbearing mansion has been the talk of the headlines for decades, but few have managed to get closer than a few miles.
Yep.
I guess I'm just lucky.
Don't know about lucky. Here we go. This is going to be interesting. I like this.
I didn't know you took private meetings, Mr. Sand.
Only if I expect good company.
I'm surprised my company ranks at all.
Today, yes. Today is a special day.
So it seems.
Do you often go to the old Colony Club, Jack?
Every week.
Meet any interesting people there?
As a rule, no.
Sometimes you make a date, right? Sometimes make new friends.
Sometimes, I guess. But that's not why I go.
And why?
I consider it a hobby.
A hobby. Do you know anything about my hobbies?
Well, judging by the half-dozen animal skins I stepped on walking over here, it's not much of a reach to say you like hunting.
Love it. Well, I say that now. It seemed so tedious when I was a child. Took ever so long. But now I'm older. I've developed a new talent.
What talent is that?
Patience. The will to wait for the right moment. Let's say you want a deer. You know, you deserve it. You've even decided what dishes its meat will go to and where you'll mount its horns.
Cool.
But to get that deer, you've got to wait. To sit in the bushes and stay nice and quiet. Professional hunters will tell you that the hunt is a rare craft. There are many rules. It's shrouded in mystery and ancient skill. Well, that's all complete nonsense. To get a deer, you just sit on the sidelines for a long enough time, pinpoint the moment when it's finally time to shoot. I learned the talent, Jack. But not like you, oh, Jack. You truly are the master.
What?
I don't understand.
Oh, come on, Jack. I know about the 500,000. I know your plan. Kendrick told me everything. Needless to say, I'm impressed. While some people learn to hold their breath for minutes on end and not to rustle the leaves too loudly, why you decided to just become the foliage. You turned yourself into a bush, surrounded by deer who've been so fruitfully multiplying for decades. But all this time you've held your rifle at the ready. Forgive an old man his imagery, Jack. I've the heart of a poet, I confess.
Look, I don't know what was said between you and Kendrick, but it sounds like you got it wrong.
Oh, I think I understand everything just fine. And I think we understand each other quite well. Jack, in the coming war, we'll make excellent partners.
What war?
One war falls upon every generation. My grandfather drove out the Ambersons back when he was 27. My father destroyed that psychopath gangster, Maurice Bell, when he was a sprightly 30. At 69, I'd begun to think my war had passed me over. But my time has come at last. Tomorrow, Vicus Varga declares war, and I'm obliged to answer.
So, we're talking about Varga now.
I don't know how he thinks. I don't even know whether he plans his actions or not. I can't divine his purpose. Hell, I don't even know where he comes from. He's a man not of our breed, wouldn't you say? But when he arrived here, I invited him in, told him we could work together. An official invitation penned in my own hand and written on some very expensive paper. And can you imagine his reply? A fruit basket. What sense can be made of such a message?
I guess it means whatever you want it to.
Precisely.
I'm late for work, Mr. Sand.
You know, Jack, I could just give you 500,000 right now, cash, whatever denominations you like. But I would never insult you so. If I went stalking my prey for so many years, I wouldn't want someone else to shoot it for me. I understand you, Jack. And I'll never ask you for anything that's contrary to your nature. Just think about our conversation. Think about it. And call me.
Very interesting.
Like I said, it's a whole new life, and I've had to give up some old habits. One of them, keeping away from things that don't concern me. Now I can't afford the luxury. This spotlight I'm under, concerns is all I got.
Damn. I'm gonna help Christopher Sand.
Tell him it's Boyd.
I'm too tired. No, I can't. Please be advised that we are unhappy with the efficiency of Freeburg PD. We're cutting the department's budget. Oh, come on. You lose one job slot. Removing an occupant will automatically fire unemployment. Come on. Here's my salary. Tomorrow's gonna be the day that anything happened to him. Bush is here. Job cannot meet my request. Fine. Labour market. Shift B. I'm gonna need no one for Shift B as well. Wish I could do that. It's going to make it difficult with only, what, 5 people. Let's get this straight up. Okay, received a call from the club manager who said there's a brawl broken out in the main hall involving over 20 men. Security are keeping back because some of the combatants are carrying knives. Several wounded are already lying on the dance floor, but no one knows why the mayhem broke out. Okay. I'm sending SWAT and the paddy wagon. Gonna send notes 3. This is gonna be difficult.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
I can't. Let's just go. Oh, sick. We're good. Awesome. An assault. 2 teens are walking the dog, got into an argument and eventually one of them unleashed the dog on the other. The police are called by a girl who is riding a bicycle nearby. Alright. Let's just send Purdy. Gotta look after him. I'll send you as well. Good, everyone's back. Oh, almost at church. Parishioner Maria Serpentine reported the sounds of gunshots inside the church. A bearded man in a hat entered the confessional, and then a minute later heard a few gunshots. Then the man calmly left the booth, took off his hat and crossed himself and sat down in the pew. I think he's praying. Interesting. Let's send you two. The boy is struggling on the ground, barely holding off the angry dog, trying to grab at his throat. Pull the dog's collar. The dog lets the boy escape, and its owner starts to flee. Order the teenager to halt. There you go. Purdy, my man, doing all the work. Go Purdy, it's your birthday. Go Purdy. Yeah, I don't know.
410 in progress.
Alright, let's check the report first. Oop, straight up, straight in. Bam. Oh. They found non-automatic weapons. We're under fire at the moment, so let's bring it back to the police station for a little bit. Let's see if we can wait until these guys come back, and we'll send them out. There we go. Linda Howard, her words slurred, said the dentist paralyzed the face during the last visit. The monster struck me with some kind of poison. Arrest him. Great. I'm just gonna send one. I think it's a false thing. I guess we'll find out. What? Yeah, normal painkillers. Okay, an ice cream vendor noticed a suspicious black bag which has been lying unsupervised on a bench for the past few hours. Okay, so we've got 19 seconds. Let's see if we can get Sano back. And then we'll send 3 of them, huh? Let's send you. No new frames found. That's not cool. Alright. Let's go here. Let's go to our backlog. Investigations. Let's put someone else on too. Present home. Let's put you on as well. Sands Ranch. Oh, crime trap. The Mafia will falsify a special crime in progress report, and all the officers who arrive at the scene will be killed, up to 3 cops. And the same thing with the detective thing. Alright, that's cool. Officer arrived at the scene and observed there was something moving inside the bag. Stay back. Okay, cool. Let's end the day. Yeah, I think that's a good day. It's a good day. Ooh, gotta leave him at home tomorrow. I hope we can get a new car. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? I'm too tired to work and hard to walk straight. Can I go home? No. I'm suffering an extreme severe anxiety attack and I can't concentrate on anything. for coming tomorrow. Alright, start the day. No music. Freiburg's first mafia war in decades has spread chaos across the street. Major criminal gangs vie for power, and the outcome of the struggle is impossible to predict. One thing is certain: a couple of weeks from now, only one family will rule the city, and that would be Christopher Stans. Funeral. This woman honoured her seventh day. Today she was buried with military honours. Same as you. Flunked her exams and brought dishonor to the bad. Oh God.
4:10 a.m. progress.
Jack, keep up the work. Make sure your final days will be more comfortable. Good. Let's get you. You. Send. T. Dink. This is one of the Vargas stirred up some punks, and they went to attack one of the family right in the barbershop. We've already sent our own men, but we don't know how many scumbags we're up against. Could you come join the party? But don't get in our way. I don't like that, but I mean, have to dick aside.
4:10 complete.
For attempted murder. Oh, good. Got him. Hit and run. Damn, son. An unknown vehicle struck a librarian. Well, I'm not even going to begin to try to say that name. At a pedestrian crossing and drove off. The victim was found dead on the scene. Okay. Damn. This is going crazy. Investigation has started. It's another Christopher Sands one. Mr. Stan's nephew looked out the window and saw some of Varga's men smashing one of his cars. Looks like someone needs to remind them that kind of behavior is illegal. We'll see if this guy fails this one. It could be possible because he's only 110.
in progress.
Eddie's Burgers. A girl entered Eddie's Burgers, ordered a Diet Coke, and started shooting at the other customers with a handgun. Jeez. The cashiers called the police, and in the background there were gunshots and screaming. Meanwhile, the crazed young woman is shouting, "I hate fat people." Wow. Jesus. That's intense. Two days to go. Deputy. I'm going to send another person. I'm going to send Grant again. Report. Oh, thank God. Birch is back. That's good. Cool. City Center. An alarm came from an armored truck. Armed men have blocked a street. Shot out the armored truck tires and are trying to seize the money bags. Okay. Send the good team. And I'll send you, Grant and Birch. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in what I'm eating, we got little gummy bears. They are cool.
We've got a situation here.
The narrow street is blocked by two vans near an armored truck. Three armed masked men surround the truck, and one of them is carrying a blowtorch. On the roof of one van is a fourth criminal, who shouts something to her accomplices as he sees the officers approach. Shoot the robber standing on the roof. The blowtorch won't work. You'll need to use dynamite. You surrender peacefully.
311A in progress.
That's not going to help. The criminals take out the automatic weapons and open fire. Retreat back down the airway, go on the offense, take them out, hide behind a patrol car, and fire from cover.
910 complete.
Cool. Good stuff, man. That's all. Dump. A night watchman during his rounds followed some noises to discover several homeless people fighting over a bundle that was lying on the ground. Oh, damn. Wait. Can I wait a little bit? Yeah, let's wait a little bit. Yeah, cool. Report. Oh, here we go. That's the hit and run. We need a couple more, so we won't go with that yet. Arson report. No new frames. Still? That don't make sense.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Softbot.
Okay. Here we go. Good. Let's end the day. Jack, Vargas is strong, but he can't compete on equal terms with the oldest criminal gang in Freeburg. Just make sure the Sands stays ahead on points, and we'll have nothing to worry about. There we go. I'm too tired, can't walk straight. Yes. Stop there. Alright. Oh, straight up. Send 3 people.
In progress.
Destruction of property. They attended at an arcade. Called in a complaint about 2 teenagers who broke a steering wheel off the Turbo Nitro machine. Currently fleeing the scene. Okay, let's send our trusty Purdy. Purdy's a great name. City Hall. The wife of the mayor's press secretary loves choral singing. Today's her birthday, so please send some men for good voices. Sounds good.
212 complete.
There you go. Good old Purdy getting the job done again. Yeah. Gotta love Purdy.
1113 in progress.
Illegal sales. Oof. An eyewitness reports a man selling weapons on the street, right out of the trunk of his car. Someone is getting shot every day around here. You'll need to finally do something. Let's send... no. Send you, and you. That'll be enough, shall it? Report coming in.
Last
Okay,
trying to
there we
raise
go.
10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Let's get you. Purdy's still here, so it's all good.
In progress.
Wow, firefight. A dock worker sighted several armed men making their way between some cargo containers. Soon after, he heard several shots and some screams. The precise number of armed men is unknown, but port officials report seeing at least 5 people. Bring SWAT to... oh, wait a little bit. Found weapons. Sell it to the mafia this time. See if these guys can get back. Oh no. Here we go. Come on, please get back in time. Come on. Oh, that was close. Oh, damn. Former psychiatric patient Leboko Clark called the police because a maniac was harassing people at the mall. According to Leboko, there's a killer on the loose and should be stopped. Gonna send you. Don't have 3 people. That's unfortunate. Mr. Boyd, I feel bad about coming to you again, but you're really the only one I can help with this. These records that my ex sued me for Well, I got them back, of course, and I guess this could be nothing, but a big-nosed brother had his sights on them. The idiot even hired a private detective who's been at my store 3 days straight, and now he has the audacity to come to my house and accuse me of being involved in the records disappearances. I don't know if he has any evidence, but the risk is too high. Can you scare them both? Make sure they stop poking their noses in other people's business. My store is open for you anytime. If I can, which I doubt I will be able to.
Looks like we have a situation here.
A couple of warning shots in the air. Shoot the criminals. Everyone freeze and put their hands on the head. The reigning criminals hide inside the shipping container. Improvise away them on smoke. Begin the assault. You're surrounded. Come out with your hands up.
511 complete.
Here we go. Ooh. Cocaine. Of course, suspicious, dressed in blood. What? Tending to menace visitors as part of fun. He wasn't really going to kill anybody. Okay. Still none found. Wow. Really? That's very disappointing. End day. Well, that's going well. I'll say that much. End the day. Alright. Checkpoint. We'll do one more day on this and then I have to go. I'm too tired, I can't hardly walk straight. Sparrow, what are you doing? No. Let's give someone a star, shall we? Let's give you... Oh, I should have gave the detective down there. That's right. Mistakes were made. Hire female cops. Considering certain recent events, you're obliged to grant some concessions to the feminists. You are to make sure at least half your staff at the police station are willing. You have 3 days. Damn, that's hard.
411 in progress.
411 in progress. Okay. A taxi driver heard someone screaming and noticed a few people gathering at the bridge as he was driving past towards the port. He stopped to see if anyone needed help, but as he approached he saw a man was threatening to throw himself and 2 children from the icy water below. Jason left us. I lost my job and the house, and there's no way we'll survive. It's better if everything just ends now. To the taxi driver, it almost looked like suicide. Let's send 2. Well, I want an officer slot. And then I want to go in here. I want to count how many women I've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got so many more men. It's not good. Got 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12. Let's get rid of him. Too old. Another woman. Get rid of you. Too old. Labor market, let's get you. If B. Okay, so how many women do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 9. Men, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need to get rid of one more man and hire a woman, which we don't have, but this guy's awesome, so we're getting him. And then we're gonna do personnel. Fire one more man. Nope. No. No. Get rid of him. Okay, that part looks good, but no, we can't get rid of that. I'll keep 30. I'm gonna get rid of Bush. Excuse me. Whoa. Right. Higher for shift B. There we go. We're good. Jack, keep up the work. Make sure the fun days are more comfortable. There we go. Done. An elderly man speaking in a raspy voice just reported a break-in. There's someone in my house. They're pounding on the door and marching around downstairs. So I'm just going to send him. I wish the investigations would be better. Maybe I'll chuck. Okay. 2 Tifa boys clearly in a state of shock are standing dangerously close to the edge of the bridge. Beside them, their drunk and distraught father is slowly pushing the children closer to the precipice. Don't be us up, my friend. Tell me about your husband. Tell me about your husband. A strong gust of wind almost blows one of her children off the bridge, and he recovers at the last moment and stumbles to the ground with a scuffed knee. Look, quit fooling around. These children already have suffered enough. Rush to the aid of children. Stay back, not aided. Look, quit fooling around. The man slows his words, saying that there's no point in delaying the inevitable. Think about what you're doing. There are people who care about you. Point the gun at the man, order and step. Your children have the whole lives in front of them. You can't make the decision for them. So there we go. Secretary Abigail Jones told the police that her boss, Martin Quebec, returned from a meeting in quite a state. When he entered, he took a bag of white powder from the safe and shut the door. Now he's yelling incessantly and making a scene, demanding that his secretary deliver him a head of a unicorn, or I'll cut her throat with the letter opener, and then go after the rest of her family. Whoa! Clear. Let's send 2. Breaking and well, we can't do anything. That's good. Found cocaine. I'm going to sell this one. Yep. As I thought. I can't send anybody. That's really quite annoying. Right, sand job. So annoying. Awesome. Banking feedback. A man wearing a suit walked in the lobby of the bank, locked the doors, and proceeded to kill several customers. Holy cow. He never said a word. He just started firing at people. Reported one eyewitness. A dozen people remained inside the building, and the criminal demands are yet unknown. So, I'm going to send 2 with SWAT.
I was trying to raise 10-1, Sergeant Hotspot.
Let's go back. Send Dahl and Birch. Another Sands job. What's the situation? Good. Good. Awesome. I really wish I could send someone. Hey, number 3. Awesome. Right. This dark coloured car comes tearing around the corner, hopped the curve and kept going. Knocked the man over, didn't even slow. Okay. Dark coloured car. Not long before the crash, I kicked a couple of drunks out of the bar. They were having a fight with some of my regulars. That doesn't really give us anything. A few days ago, Dad had a fight at work with a couple of young people who were causing a ruckus at the library. The whole thing almost came to blows. They threatened him before they left. Okay. I saw two people in the car. They went right by me. The man in the passenger seat had a beard. Okay, so that's fine with both of them. Klemic thought he was being followed. He said he saw a guy everywhere. Said it looked like someone had the same problem with him at the library. Okay. Alrighty. I have to come back to that. Of course, no new frames found. That did go to be sent to the crime scene. What year? Alright. Thank you guys for joining me. This now ends my stream. Please check me out on Twitch and YouTube. Thank you for going. Thank you for looking. Don't forget to hit that follow button, that like button, and subscribe. Cheers. See you next time.